One of Asia's leading enablers of pro-women development programs is Kanta Singh. Now, Kanta joins us now. Kanta is the Deputy Regional Director of UN Women India. Kanta, welcome. It's so great to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me here.
You've had an incredible career.
Very interesting, I would say.
Very interesting career. Tell us a little bit about it.
So mine is a story of dreams and mine's a story of a story. And I would like to share that. I always wanted to be part of the UN without knowing what it takes to be in the UN. And it took me several years to reach where I did. But coming from where I'm coming, a village school, it was almost an impossible dream. But once I achieved it, I realized that dreams have power, number one. Also, that day I promised myself that after this, I'm never going to have another dream for myself. Every dream that I will have thereafter would be to help other girls achieve their dreams. So it's been very interesting. I won't change even a bit of that. I won't say struggles because struggles are everywhere. I'll say opportunities. I got many opportunities. People believed me, people trusted me, and that's how I could speak to you today.
It's a wonderful story. Tell me then, how are you doing that? When you talk about what you wanted to do, achieve dreams for others, how are you doing that today?
So I am enabling girls and women to realize their full potential. That we do through several programs that we run. But beyond that, I take it personally that every woman that speaks to me or I speak to doesn't go with hopelessness. So first thing I do is to tell them that she's fully capable of doing what she wants to do, and she has every right to do what actually she will ultimately achieve. So hope is one. I also tell her that go back to your dream and see where you want to be. And the third thing is happiness. Does that bring her happiness? And if that work brings her happiness, I think that's what she should be looking at. And so I also talk to many young women, and the first thing I ask them is that what will make you happy when you'll work? So you see yourself 10 years hence, what is it that's going to make you happy? And in many cases, they say they eliminate what they don't want to do and what they would like to do. So it's been very, very interesting, and I spend a lot of time talking to young people and listen to them, what is it that they aspire to be.
Kanta, you use the word hope, and I think we all need some hope now, especially if you listen to what the UN Secretary General said not so long ago about it taking 300 years to achieve gender equality. And the recent UN report on gender equality was incredibly dismaying.
It is.
You're doing a lot of work on building that. Are you hopeful? Are you optimistic? I'm
very, very optimistic, and people really challenge me on this. Why? What gives me hope is the young women who are part of the AVP event here. When they talk about their hope for the world, I have no reason to be disappointed. When I see a young woman in the high altitude area going to school, that gives me hope. When I see a marginalized woman going on bicycle to do a house help work, that gives me hope. When a woman speaks up anywhere, when I see a young girl speaking in Iran, that gives me hope. So we have no reason to be hopeless. Seriously, the world is literally, this is the right time to be a woman. This is what I feel.
Do you feel that it's harder in India than it is in some other countries?
No. See, for two reasons. One is that we got many rights with our constitution. We didn't have to fight for basic equality in terms of legislation. We got it when we were born. So that was one positive thing about India. Also, India is also an aspiring young country. So you have to give us time. I think we'll reach there. And there is so much happening in India all the time. There are some great examples. There's not even a single field, sector, where women are not working, starting from fighter pilots to locomotive drivers to everything, women in business. India is brimming with hope.
What role is India going to play in the G20?
Multiple things. India has once set the bar very high. They're talking about women-led development, not just development for women. That means women are going to lead the change. And that is what we want to bring to the world, that women are fully capable of bringing the positive changes. We have 1.4 million women at the grassroots level leadership, which has never been highlighted. And that's what India wants to highlight. We have more girls in higher education than boys. We have more girls in STEM than boys. So I'm saying
That's unusual.
that's very, very unusual, and nobody talked about these stories. So India want to uh, put women in the leadership positions, and at least they are setting the bar. I'm not saying they are all there, everything is hunky dory. No, it's not. There's a long way to go, but at least the onus is going to be shifting from women to somebody who can help them achieve those goals.
We're here at the AVPN conference
Yes.
in KL. What are you hoping to achieve while you're here?
So two things that have, and I'm seeing the change. One is now every person who's here in this hall understands what impact funding is. Till now it was all grants model. So I think the language is changing, and yes. And in last 5 years I've seen how donors, how people and individual high net worth individuals are talking about impact, which is great. Also what is changing now is the participation of young women, which also is very, very positive. And the third thing is that people are talking about government and private sector working together. I think that's also a big change, and I'm very happy about all three changes. It's just that we need to be careful about the most marginalized women that there are. We can't measure them at the same level that women who are running businesses. So with that caution, everything else is really beautiful now.
So what do you need in your role?
I need more money,
More funding.
more funding, definitely,
Yeah.
so that I can reach out to more women and girls. We need to expand India office to begin with. We need to have huge financing for gender equality across the globe. It's not just about India, but we also need to look at women in Myanmar, women in Iran, women in Africa, women in Latin America. We need to think about every woman. And because every woman counts, every girl matters. So we need to think about the last one who's been left behind. So for which we need money, and we need support of the governments as well as private sector to reach there. And we need women to be in charge of that funding. It's not just access to that money, it's also the control over that money. So we need more women leaders like yourselves.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you
Kanta
so
Singh.
much.
Thank you
Thanks a lot.
so much
Thanks
for
a
joining
lot.
us.
And I'm really happy that I could speak to you. Thank you.
Kanta Singh with us right here on the APAC Network.